to Mr Farage on behalf of Independence and Democracy for 2 minutes.
President, what a funny old European Union it is, isn't it? Last Saturday afternoon, after a jolly good lunch at the Elysee, the European leaders stood on the steps and they talked with fairly weak smiles about solidarity. The smiles were weak, of course, because President Sarkozy's US-style bailout plan had already collapsed into the dust. But nonetheless, united we stand is what was said. And yet, with almost comic hypocrisy, the German Chancellor decided that German interests come first and European interests come second, and she acted. And perhaps for the first time in years, she got loud applause from her own electorate. Of course, it was the Irish that started this trend the week before by going their own way, and my admiration for Ireland, I have to say, grows by the day. But I think the last week is going to prove to be the watershed moment for this entire European project. You see, the only way to stop countries acting in their own national interest is to take that power away from them, to form a Treasury Department there in Frankfurt that has power over tax and power over government spending. And indeed, I've heard some of the EU extremists this afternoon effectively call for that. Yet you can't do it because it won't command public support. In fact, to do that would be even more unpopular than your hated Lisbon Treaty. No more likely is that what's happened in the last week marks the beginning of the end. The markets are saying it already. Italian government bonds now yield 1% more than German or French issued government bonds. The markets are saying that economic and monetary union will not last. And I'm not surprised, because it never was an optimal currency zone. One interest rate could never fit all these different countries, and you've never had proper public support. But it must be one thing or the other. It's either a full EU state that controls everything, or it is disintegration and back to national control. The credit crunch is hitting and hurting all of us, but I see a speck of light at the end of a tunnel. I see a dividend, possibly the beginning of the end of this whole mad and unwanted project. Thank you.